Hello and welcome to this session. So in today's session we're going to be looking at cloud computing. We're going to understand what is cloud computing, and we're going to also understand the types of cloud computing that exist, and we are going to get familiar with these cloud computing things, since I've seen most people wonder what cloud computing is, and this video will help you basically understand what cloud computing is. So if you enjoy this kind of content, remember to subscribe, hit the like button, comment on my video down below. Let me get to know what topics you'd like me to talk about, and also hit me on my social media. Let's get right into it. So cloud computing refers to data and applications being stored and run on the cloud rather than your local computer, and can be accessed on the internet. So what is a cloud? That is the elephant in the room. So a cloud is basically a building with servers, a big building with servers. So an investor decides that they are going to invest in offering computing power, and they go and buy these all types of equipment that can be used. GPUs, that is graphics processing unit, data processing unit, central processing units, servers, firewalls, okay, storage, okay. You have all these types of options. So this person decides that they are going to build a very large building with the servers inside, with all these capabilities, and they do it as a business where they offer the computing power through via the internet. So you basically, as a user, don't have to go and purchase this equipment yourself. You don't have to buy a server yourself. These things are expensive. Some costs millions, okay. And basically this could be quite expensive for some users. So instead of going ahead to the market and buying these servers and all these computing powers, you just purchase it online, okay, and you just purchase the amount of power that you basically just need, okay. So if you need of a storage space of, let's say, 500 GB online, you just purchase the 500 GB online, okay, and that storage will be given to you, okay, and you just basically have to pay for that. But in case of buying your own equipment, you'll go buy a server. It's a, let's say, 60 terabytes, okay. All that power, if you don't have a media to store in that 60 terabytes of space, then it's basically going to loss, okay. You're basically having resources, unused resources in your network. So basically this is what happens. Someone goes, buys these things for you, and you just purchase them online. So that is what cloud computing is. And these servers that are bought provide services on behalf of clients, okay. The servers run applications, store data, process data, do web hosting, and so many other stuff that are not listed here. So that is the basic concept of cloud. And the organizations that own these servers sell their computers as a service, okay. So if you need of this computing power, you just go online, subscribe to that service, and pay for it, and you get it. And this reduces the hassle of owning equipment, configuration, maintenance, security, backups. So the cloud provider just does these things for you automatically, and this basically helps make it easy for users to just go online and purchase this power computing power, and they're able to focus on other things, but business related stuff, rather than concentrating on buying equipment, configuring them, maintaining them, giving security to them, doing backups. All this is done by the cloud provider. So I basically have talked about cloud computing, and I believe that you have understood what cloud computing is. And one would ask, why cloud computing? One is the reduced cost. Okay, now we have said that you don't have to go through the hassle of buying your own equipment or hiring people. If you cannot maintain it yourself, you basically save on hiring people to maintain that equipment. Okay, you get to save on that because it's automatically done for you, and that reduces the cost in a large significant way. We could also talk about power. It saves on power cost. Okay, now the other reason would be reliability. Now these servers are meant to be online 24/7. Okay, this means that even if lights went off, okay, and you don't have backup, okay, the data center or the cloud computing provider will have backup. Okay, let's say for example that your equipment has been damaged, or has got some issues. Okay, you don't have to worry about all that. All that is taken care of by the cloud computing service provider, and this brings out the feature of reliability. Now redundancy means that you basically have multiple servers with your information in them, and this is applied using the RAID method, that is the random access independent disk. Okay, and we are going to talk about RAID and the different versions of RAID, which is a backup strategy, in another video. But it basically brings out the feature of redundancy, where your information is not just stored on one server, it's stored on many servers, such that if one server is down, then the other is just going to offer that information, and the user is not going to note any difference or loss of information from the internet. Now scalability, we talked about paying for what you need, and if your business does not really need a lot of computing power as it starts, then you just pay for the little computing power that you need. Okay, and basically as your business grows, if you need to increase that computing power, you just increase your subscription fee, and the computing power is going to be increased. And I believe that this computing power is you cannot exhaust all of it. It's large, such that many large organizations in the world today just use cloud computing services, and they focus on other business related issues rather than computing issues. And that is the last point, coincidentally, that it helps business focus on business related issues. Okay, where you don't have to worry about maintaining, owning equipment, security of equipment. All that stuff is taken care of. And examples of cloud providers are AWS, we have Azure, that is a Microsoft Azure, there is Google Cloud Platform, there is Alibaba, there is IBM, DigitalOcean. Yeah, so those are some of the cloud service providers that you would subscribe to. Now, there are different types of cloud computing, and this basically just helps us understand the responsibilities that are handed out to the cloud provider or the cloud service provider, or and us as the users or the clients using this cloud computing service. Now, there are three different types, and one, you have infrastructure as a service, and this is where the cloud provider manages a portion of the business, that is the hardware, in terms of the server, the storage, virtualization, networking, while we as the users maintain the applications that are on that server, the data that is on that server, the operating system, the middleware, and the runtime. Okay, so that basically separates the different responsibilities. And in this infrastructure as a service, this you could term it as 50-50, because they just give you the storage, they take care of the networking for you, and the virtualization. Now, there is a platform as a service, and this is where the cloud provider manages a portion of the business, that is the server, storage, virtualization, networking, operating system, middleware, and runtime, while we as the users maintain the applications and data. Okay, so you just log in, and whatever applications that you have installed on the servers, you are the one who is going to maintain them. If it is an application to check whether your services are up all the time, a good example being Uptime Puma. So if you need to look at the uptime of your servers, and whatever you have been allocated by the cloud provider, you just basically go to Uptime Puma, you say you want to monitor this service, and it will basically show you the uptime, and if there is a failure, it will notify you. So that is an example of a platform as a service. There is a software as a service, and this is where all applications and applications are hosted by the cloud provider, and one simply connects to the cloud service through the internet, and this is just basic storage. And a good example would be Google Documents. You don't have to provide any details or credentials or to maintain anything on Google Docs, and that is basically what software as a service is in the cloud service. I believe that's it for the cloud computing video, and I hope you find value in it. If you do, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, so that you're notified each time I upload a new video. So join me in the virtualization video, where we get to understand how we achieve this cloud computing. So thank you, and see you in the next one.